Wheezing or trouble breathing? Tell your doctor right away of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain or vision changes, skin symptoms, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop other treatments without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's doctor about Dupixent, approved to treat kids as young as 6 months.
This is a heavyweight fight right here.
We can't change the past now. We're already focused on game 3.
We can't be satisfied. We've got to continue to push forward.
This magic carpet ride continues.
Spurs Knicks, Game 3 on ABC and the ESPN app.
We want everybody to have a great day. Everyone take a little time to enjoy the view and do not give up the ship. We are in this together. We'll see you tomorrow.
Meet Susan Collins. No, not that Susan Collins.
I care about Maine. That Susan Collins is a D.C. insider. This Susan Collins is voting for Graham Plattner, a Democrat with backbone, a veteran with courage, an oyster farmer from Sullivan, Maine. Graham knows who to fight, the billionaires. I'm Susan Collins, and I approve...
Wait. That's my line. I'm Graham Plattner, and I approve this message because it's time we beat
that Susan Collins.
I'm Jordan Wood. Everywhere I go, Mainers tell me they've had enough. Tired of higher costs, exhausted by endless wars, and worn out by corporate greed. Washington is failing us. It's time for a new generation to fight Trump and the billionaires. I've already taken on election deniers and won. I'll never take a dime from corporate PACs or lobbyists. I'm Jordan Wood, and I approve this message because I'll fight corruption, defend our democracy, and finally pass Medicare for all.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
This is ABC 7 News at Noon.
A man is in the hospital and facing criminal charges after an officer-involved shooting. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. A 22-year-old is facing several charges after police say he led them on a dangerous chase in a stolen truck. And a rally over the weekend focused on honoring those who lost their lives to gun violence. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Monday afternoon. It's a beautiful one out there filled with a lot of sunshine as high pressure is in dominant control, not only for us, but for the entire Northeast. I mean, look at this. We have nothing overhead for us, and even parts of Canada looking very quiet at this time. You have to look all the way across parts of the Midwest and even southern parts of the U.S. for any activity at this moment in time. Here's what we got. We got sunshine, a few passing clouds will be possible this afternoon. Some clouds overnight too, but still mostly clear. We'll have some more clouds passing through as we head towards your Tuesday. But in the meantime, some winds today. This is a gusty winds forecast. We'll have sustained winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour today. We'll have a few gusts up to around 15 miles per hour this afternoon. The winds will back off tonight, but then they'll pick up a bit tomorrow. But again, up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour. But for today, here's what we got. Mostly sunny, low 80s for the high, and that north wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight, low 50s under a mostly clear sky, and that west breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's your hourly forecast for the rest of the afternoon period. We'll have some clouds and sunshine with temperatures warming into the 80s and then cooling off. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. A man is in the hospital and facing several criminal charges after a traffic stop Friday in Calais turned into an officer-involved shooting. According to the Calais Police Department, 2 officers conducted a traffic stop on 35-year-old Albina White on the intersection of Main Road and North Street in Calais. White refused to follow commands, and after being told he was under arrest, officers attempted to tase him, but they were unsuccessful. This is a video of the incident. It was obtained by ABC 7 Fox 22 from social media and confirmed by sources within the Washington County Sheriff's Office that this is in fact footage of the incident. The officers tried to physically take White into custody, but he continued to resist and then grabbed a sword and swung it at the police. Both officers fired their weapons. White was treated, transported, and life-flighted to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center and is stabilized. Both officers have been placed on a standard procedure administrative leave. The Attorney General's office will investigate the use of deadly force, and Calais Police Department will conduct a criminal investigation. White faces charges of failure to stop, operating after suspension, failure to submit to arrest, and criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon. 22-year-old Andrew Wright is facing several charges after police say he led them on a dangerous chase in a stolen truck. According to the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, they received reports last Thursday of a driver performing donuts in a public area in Hudson. Deputies responded and confirmed with the Bangor Police Department that it was the same vehicle stolen in the Bangor area earlier that same night. Authorities also say the stolen vehicle had reportedly been involved in multiple crashes, had driven through a public park with people present, and it generated multiple complaints through driving through Broadway. Deputies attempted a traffic stop Thursday night, but say Wright fled. During the pursuit, authorities say Wright drove recklessly, intentionally rammed into a deputy's cruiser, made several attempts to force law enforcement off the road, drove through fields and residential properties, and even after deputies successfully deployed tire deflation devices, Wright continued leading law enforcement on a dangerous chase. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says the chase ended in Corinth when Wright drove into a parking lot and was struck by another truck. Wright was charged with aggravated driving to endanger, eluding an officer, criminal speeding, aggravated criminal mischief, trespass by a motor vehicle, and operating without a license. Authorities say no serious injuries were reported. The investigation remains ongoing and additional charges are expected. The Attorney General's office says 2 Somerset County deputies were justified when they shot and killed a man during a search of his Heartland home last year. According to the Somerset County Sheriff's Office, investigators went to the home of Isaac Robinson on Main Street in Heartland a little before 6 on September 10, 2025, to conduct a search warrant. This report says deputies announced themselves before entering the home. Deputy William Crawford found Robinson in a bedroom and told him several times to drop a knife. Robinson refused, threw an object with liquid in it toward Crawford, then charged at him with a large knife and another object in his hands. Crawford and Deputy Mitchell Lyman shot Robinson. Robinson was pronounced dead at the scene. The chief medical examiner determined he died from multiple gunshot wounds. The report says investigators found a machete and a baseball bat near Robinson, and body camera footage from Lyman was consistent with he and Crawford's report to investigators. The Attorney General's report was issued on Friday. Some residents of Ellsworth are pushing for a recall of 5 city councilors after what they say is a lack of transparency and accountability. The move comes after Councilor Steve O'Halloran received a sanction for his alleged ethics violations, which drew controversy in the community. Residents say they've seen their taxes rise year after year and are concerned about the city spending in the wake of high property taxes.
We're not scared of change, it's just that we cannot afford it. We need to make sure we can afford things and take care of things properly before we add on.
Signatures will be collected until the end of the month. 1,500 signatures are needed for the petitions to go to the ballot. When it comes to the national political landscape, all eyes are looking ahead to tomorrow's primary election, and Maine is in the spotlight. As our Doug Banks reports, the primary comes as Graham Plattner continues defending himself against a growing list of allegations.
Mr. Plattner, are you here to calm the water, sir?
Presumptive Democratic U.S. Senate nominee Graham Plattner was in Washington earlier this week, defending himself after new allegations from his past recently arose.
Those serious allegations are just not true.
On Thursday, a New York Times report included allegations from Plattner's former girlfriends. Mr. Plattner could be charming and charismatic, but also demeaning to women and, in at least one case, even physically threatening. He drank heavily and was regularly unfaithful.
The fact that I was, a bad boyfriend a decade ago, that's something I've talked about openly at length for quite some time.
It adds to a list his opponents have accumulated, including a now covered-up tattoo resembling a Nazi symbol, inflammatory old Reddit posts, and an alleged sexting scandal. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who recently endorsed Plattner, was asked about the recent New York Times article.
What's your response to this New York Times article on Graham Plattner? I haven't read it.
Plattner is scheduled to take part in a rally in Bar Harbor alongside other Maine Democratic candidates. Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Grand Platinum Troy Jackson and Matt Dunlap drew a crowd in Bar Harbor Friday evening. Our Callie Warren has those details.
No one is coming to rescue us. We need to stand up ourselves, and that's what we're doing tonight.
I say that we can't afford to wait any longer, that our time is now.
Maine, I will always have your back.
Hundreds packed into Bar Harbor's Criterion Theater Friday night as they prepare for the primary polls on Tuesday.
Together, we're going to stand up and take on Donald Trump and all his sycophants in D.C. We're going to fight back against that corruption, that power, that greed that is always there and never sleeps.
Democratic candidates Matt Dunlap, Troy Jackson, and Graham Plattner endorsed one another and discussed the values they believe to be top of mind for Democrat voters, including fighting for the working class, advocating for equity, and working towards economic fairness.
It is only together that we can make a different choice. We can build a government by working people, for working people.
For these candidates, the event serves to not only promote one another's platforms, but also to rally voters together with just days to go before the primaries.
This is what we do. We get committed, we show up, and we stay in the fight. The world is run by people who show up like you. That's how we're going to get this done.
In Bar Harbor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The Maine Gun Safety Coalition hosted its annual Ever Orange rally over the weekend, which focused on honoring those who have lost their lives to gun violence. Troy Jackson, Shanna Bellows, and Nirav Shah spoke and advocated for continued gun violence prevention in Maine. Among those who shared their stories was Arthur Bernard, whose son was killed in 2023 Lewiston mass shooting.
I'm here today to let people know that we have to be better. There are things that we have to be better at. I'm not anti-gun. But if you're going to own guns, if you're going to own deadly weapons, we need to find a way to make people responsible for the weapons that they own.
The event also included community resources and free gun lock boxes for families with children. Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, deadly earthquake shook the Philippines this morning. We'll be right back.
This spring, invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value season after season. With the county's 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years with interest-only payments over those 10 years, 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
Graham, why are you running for Senate?
Because I f***ing love this state. When I got home after my service overseas, I was struggling. Maine wrapped its arms around me. My community gave me belonging. Our natural resources gave me purpose. Now all that is under attack by corrupt politicians who are selling us out to corporations and billionaires. I'm Graham Plattner, and I don't take a dollar of corporate money. And I approve this message because I won't turn my back on the home that never turned its back on me.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. You can't work, you've got expensive medical bills, pain and suffering. Absolute chaos. We'll take the stress and frustrations off your shoulders. We've done that for thousands of people, and we're ready to help you too. Hurt in a car accident? I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
When it comes to your home, go to the source. Go to R&B's Home Source in Madison. R&B's Home Source has home comfort, convenience, and savings all wrapped up in one location. From the living room to the dining room to the bedroom, we have some of the best values in furniture and bedding. For the kitchen, R&B's Home Source has top-notch appliances from fridges to ranges, even washers and dryers. And sit back and relax with quality electronics. We service everything we sell too. For your home, go to the source. R&B's Home Source, Lakewood Road, Madison.
Matt Dunlap sided against Maine women. Dunlap's anti-abortion voting record earned him a 100% rating from Maine Right to Life. We deserve answers, Matt Dunlap says.
No regrets at all.
Now a mystery group tied to Republicans is meddling with $300,000 to elect Dunlap. Vote for a Democrat we can trust with a 100% voting record from Planned Parenthood. Joe Baldacci.
I'm Joe Baldacci, and I approve this message.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
The Iran war hit the 100-day mark with a dangerous development as Israel and Iran exchange strikes. Iran now saying it will stop the attacks, but warns a bigger response if hostilities continue. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
In a significant escalation, Israel and Iran trading attacks, the first since the ceasefire was announced in April. But now both sides indicating a pause. In a statement read on Iranian state TV this morning, Iran's Joint Military Command announcing that operations against Israel are now over. But they warned of a more severe response if Israel were to launch further strikes. An Israeli source tells ABC News Israel is halting its attacks on Iran for now. This after President Trump posted on social media early Monday morning that Israel and Iran are looking to do an immediate ceasefire and claiming that broader negotiations for peace are proceeding. But over the weekend, the two countries traded intense strikes, Iran firing multiple waves of ballistic missiles at northern Israel, saying it was in retaliation after Israel launched strikes against Iranian-backed Hezbollah in the Lebanese capital of Beirut. President Trump, in a series of interviews on Sunday, sending a message to Israel to hold its fire. But this morning, the Israel Defense Forces saying it conducted a wave of strikes on western and central Iran, including a petrochemical plant. Iran responding to that, a fresh barrage targeting Jerusalem. Israeli air defenses intercepting the missiles. Despite Iran's strikes across the region over the last several weeks, President Trump continues to claim Iran's military is decimated. But the president acknowledging to NBC News, Iran still has missiles.
I would say percentage-wise, maybe 21, 22% of their missiles. It's a lot of missiles.
President Trump continues to insist that the U.S. and Iran are in final stages of negotiations, but he's also sending mixed messages about what it would take for him to restart major military operations against Iran. Over the weekend, he now says his red line is whether a deal is not coming together or not coming together fast enough for him. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The southern Philippines was rocked by a deadly earthquake Monday. ABC's Maggie Rulli reports.
This was the most powerful earthquake to strike the Philippines in decades, a 7.8 magnitude quake that hit right off the Philippines' main southern island. This video shows children huddled together as the quake hit. You can see them being tossed back and forth, screaming in panic as an outdoor structure collapses next to them. Today was the first day back to school for those students after a 2-month break. Now, the earthquake was so powerful it triggered tsunami warnings across the region. The president of the Philippines suspended classes in the affected areas, telling anyone there to move to higher ground, saying your life is more important than anything left behind. The good news is that warning has since been lifted. It's also a reminder that earthquakes are common in the Philippines. The country sits right on the Pacific Ring of Fire and sees dozens of quakes a year. But again, this one of the most powerful they've seen in decades, and aftershocks are still expected. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, London.
The number of Ebola cases keeps going up. That has the health officials around the world and here at home beefing up containment protocols. Senior foreign correspondent Greg Pelcott has more.
The Ebola outbreak is growing in Africa. Over the weekend, the number of confirmed cases passed 500, almost all in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where strict new protocols are in effect to help stop the spread. Large gatherings are now restricted, including religious services.
Confirmation, baptism, and ordination, among others, are suspended until further notice.
Neighboring countries are now ramping up security and surveillance at the borders, with ambulances, isolation centers, and mobile labs on standby to test for new infections.
In an event we got any case suspected of Ebola or confirmed case, we can be able to deal with it.
But containment won't be easy, and some hospitals are reporting patients are escaping during their treatment. possibly infecting others in their communities.
There are still pockets of resistance from the population, people who are hesitant to come directly to the hospital due to the disease.
Africa's CDC and the World Health Organization announced a joint continental response plan, asking for $518 million, but that number could go up.
Containing Ebola depends on political commitment, sustained financing, and the trust and engagement of communities.
Meanwhile, some health experts are criticizing the Trump administration's response to the outbreak, saying the U.S. should be more involved.
By focusing only on how to keep Ebola out of the U.S., rather than stopping transmission at its source, we are making America more vulnerable.
The CDC says this outbreak could become one of the largest ever documented. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
After the break, Pride celebrations are happening all across Maine this month. We've got details when we return.
I'm Jordan Wood. Everywhere I go, Mainers tell me they've had enough. Tired of higher costs, exhausted by endless wars, and worn out by corporate greed. Washington is failing us. It's time for a new generation to fight Trump and the billionaires. I've already taken on election deniers and won. I'll never take a dime from corporate PACs or lobbyists. I'm Jordan Wood, and I approve this message because I'll fight corruption, defend our democracy, and finally pass Medicare for all.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
From the heart of Maine, where rugged beauty meets timeless craftsmanship, Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, taming the outdoors through groundwork, retaining walls and seawalls, building custom fireplaces that become the centerpiece of your home, crafting granite steps and patios that invite you outdoors, designing hardscapes that turn yards into living spaces, built to last, crafted for life. Richard Henderson & Sons Masonry, quality in every stone.
Are your basement walls bowing, crumbling, or failing? Hi, I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems, all things basementy. Our Stable Lock wall system offers a patented, affordable, and permanent solution to save your foundation walls. It stabilizes, fills voids, and structurally repairs, leaving a new smooth surface. All the strength of new walls. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Joe Baldacci, the hand-picked yes man of dark money DC. He's bankrolled by DC and beholden to them, not us. The truth? Joe Baldacci is the only Democrat running for Congress who stands with Trump and opposed implementing Medicare for all Mainers now. Good for the establishment, bad for Mainers. Reject dark money and corporate Democrats. Vote no on DC's hand-picked yes man, Joe Baldacci. Real Change PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's time to name a cheese of the month. And this month, we're highlighting a cheese that originated in the Netherlands from a tiny city called Gouda. And believe it or not, Gouda is one of the most popular cheeses in the world. Now, you may recognize this semi-hard cheese for its unique flavor and its waxy jacket. Yet, did you know that Gouda's creamy texture makes it perfect for melting? Now, one of my favorite ways to use it is in a good old-fashioned patty melt. For that, all we do is cook a couple of burgers until they're just the way we like them. Now, to build it, we place a piece of Gouda on some buttered rye that we lightly toasted on our skillet. We put a burger on top of that and pile on lots of sauteed onions and Thousand Island dressing. And to take this over the top, we add another slice of cheese and finish it with a slice of toasted rye. When you bite through the toasted rye into all the meaty, cheesy, oniony goodness, are you ever in for a treat? I hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our old-fashioned patty melts so you can experience just how Gouda can be. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found cheesier way for you to say, ooh, it's so Gouda. Delicious.
Pride celebrations are happening all across Maine this month. Yesterday, hundreds gathered at Knowlton Park in Ellsworth for the annual Ellsworth Pride Festival. Ellsworth Pride partnered with the Healthy Acadia that presents its year's festival. The festival featured dozens of nonprofits and vendors from the Down East area. Organizers say this family-friendly event aims to bring people together to celebrate inclusion, connection, and, of course, pride.
I just love the music, I love the food, I love seeing everybody, all the fun colors.
I hope that queer and trans youth know that they're safe in this community, that they come out here and see adults who are their allies and who are going to protect them.
The celebration included a number of food trucks, live music, drag performances, and more. Ellsworth Pride is also hosting a community hike on Saturday, June 13th. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
When there's a big job to do, you send the person you know will deliver. Joe Baldacci. Lowering grocery prices, protecting Medicare, defending a woman's right to choose. Those are big jobs. Joe Baldacci's always delivered for Maine. He passed laws making healthcare easier to get and helped restore mental health centers. Joe Baldacci goes to work for us in Maine. And in Congress, he will too. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
Think you know Robert Charles? Think again. While President Trump was crushing the woke left, D.C. insider Bob Charles was cashing in, making millions holding lucrative contracts with the woke DEI Never Trump Obama administration. Bob Charles, looking the other way, abandoning the MAGA movements, working for liberal DEI-loving Democrats, failing President Trump. Anything for a buck chuck can't be trusted. Trump traitor Robert Charles, woke, radical, wrong. Just too liberal for Maine.
I got hurt in a car accident. Why should I call the twos?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I don't take tiny checks. I get my clients big checks. I got a client who injured their shoulder, a big check for $275,000. Another client had multiple broken bones, and I also got them a big check for $450,000.
Don't take a tiny check for your car wreck. Call the twos.
I'm your go-to guy.
Graham, why are you running for Senate?
Because I f***ing love this state. When I got home after my service overseas, I was struggling. Maine wrapped its arms around me. My community gave me belonging. Our natural resources gave me purpose. Now all that is under attack by corrupt politicians who are selling us out to corporations and billionaires. I'm Graham Plattner, and I don't take a dollar of corporate money. And I approve this message because I won't turn my back on the home that never turned its back on.
It was a little rainy yesterday, but it's much better today. Let's get your full forecast from Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Wave height's now looking too bad at around 2 feet according to the buoys, while farther off towards the north and east we're looking good as well. No advisories in effect along the coast or on land either. Farther out towards sea at around 4 to even 7 feet. A little more active there. Water temperatures in the ocean in the mid-50s at this time. Further off towards the north and east, a little bit cooler. We need to be careful with that because of hyperthermia, as air temperatures are warmer on land. So many of us will want to go into the ocean, but we need to be careful with that because hyperthermia will be easy to get. On land, very nice thanks to high pressure that's in full control. We may notice some passing clouds from time to time, but as you look toward Canada, we're looking pretty good right nearby. The eastern parts of the U.S. and even the rest of the Northeast were looking pretty good. Other areas in the Midwest, actually in southern U.S., seeing some precipitation at this moment in time. But for us, again, a mostly sunny sky, some passing clouds today. We'll have a few passing clouds tonight, but otherwise a mostly clear sky. As we head towards tomorrow, a partly cloudy sky will be common, but as we head towards Tuesday night, some more clouds will be on the way. way, and that will continue as we head towards your Wednesday. That UV index forecast for today with all the sunshine will be very high. It will be at an 8. That means a burn time of simply 15 minutes. So hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade will be necessary to avoid a bad sunburn. And we'll have some wind today, just a gust up to around 15 miles per hour. Backing off later on tonight, the sustained winds today will be at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For today, mostly sunny, low 80s, and that north breeze, as I mentioned, at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, low 50s, mostly clear, with that west breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then there's tomorrow, mid 80s, partly cloudy, with that west breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast. Wednesday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms with highs in the mid 80s. More showers and thunderstorms for your Thursday with highs in the upper 70s. And then Friday, more showers and thunderstorms with highs in the low 80s.
Thank you, Devin. Over 1,000 athletes competed this past weekend in the state's annual Special Summer Olympic Games. The competition was held at the University of Maine in Orono. Athletes and coaches from every county in Maine participated in various track and field events as well as bocce. The weekend-long event was a culmination of months of hard work and training. Organizers say the state summer games are about more than just winning medals. It's more about making memories and celebrating milestones. The competition came to a conclusion on Sunday. However, the training is not over for some, as more than 60 Special Olympic Maine athletes and coaches will also be representing Maine at the Special Olympics USA Summer Games in Minnesota this month. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or any commercial vehicle, we know how to get you the big money you may deserve.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you.
Cancer affects everyone, but there is hope at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center's Champion the Cure Challenge, where every dollar raised helps patients in our own backyard. Make a difference. Walk, run, or cycle August 15th in Brewer. Visit ctcchallenge.org.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The following program is paid for by Integrated Wellness Solutions, a proud supporter of the American Heart Association. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hello, I'm Brandy Williams. Welcome viewers from across the country to Heart Health TV. So how's your heart? Healthy? Not sure? Well, sadly, I can safely say that probably half of you watching right now already have cardiovascular disease, and most of you don't even know it. And even more of you watching have high blood pressure, and you might not know that either. In fact, if you're over 55, there's almost an 80% chance you have high blood pressure. That's right. And high blood pressure is no joke because it can kill you.